So one of the businesses that I used to be heavily involved in was this thing called the phone flipping space. And basically what we would do is I would put up ads for people on places like Craigslist and Facebook, telling people that I would buy their phones for cheap. And then, or I wouldn't say cheap, I would just say I would buy their phones and give them cash. And then people would text me or message me and they would tell me the phones that they had for sale. And then I would buy some of their phones. And then I'd buy their phones for cheap, and then generally I would sell them on eBay for more. So I might buy a phone for, $250, sell it on eBay for $390, and after eBay fees and shipping fees and everything said and done, I make like $100 profit. And if you do that a couple times a day, you make a couple $100 a day in profit, you can make pretty good money. Now, what was interesting was when I got involved in that space, I thought I was just going to flip phones, right? But what I realized was in order to make a lot of money, I actually had to get good at different skills. And I had to stack them on top of each other. So let's kind of break down that business. So the first thing I had to do was I had to get good at ads. I had to get good at putting up ads because I had to put up ads so people would contact me about what they had. That's how it worked. So I would put up ads on Craigslist. And there was a whole kind of thing for that. There was a way to create the best titles on Craigslist and the best descriptions and the best image to get as many people as possible to view my ad and send me a message or call me about what they had. Because just putting up ads in and of itself was not good enough. There's you can create better ads and other ads, and there's little things you can do to make your ads better so they're more effective so you get a better response. So I had to learn and also test stuff out and just kind of go through training on how to get good at advertising. And then what happened is people would message me and I would send them a lowball offer. And believe it or not, guys, not everybody was 100% happy with the lowball offer. So I had to get good at the second skill set, which was negotiating and learning how to communicate and negotiate with people where even if they didn't accept my lowball offer, I had to get good at skills where I could still try to get a percentage of those people that didn't like my lowball offer to eventually accept the lowball offer, or maybe we meet in the middle at a place where we're happy with. Then I had to get good at creating the listings on eBay. So there was little tricks, right? Like if you're selling a phone, one of the things is you don't want to use for the first photo on the eBay listing, you don't want to use the back of the phone. Why? Because it seems like something's hidden, right? If the phone is fully working and there's no issues, the best first photo to use is the front of the phone, and it's to have the phone turned on and be on the home screen. Because what does that kind of show? It shows that, now that doesn't mean it's fully accurate, but it kind of shows that there's no issues with the phone's been reset, it's on the home screen, it turns on, it's powered on, the screen works. So when people are going through all the listings on eBay, they're more likely to click the photo if there's two listings, both of them are the same. One is at the back of the photo, and the other is at the front of the photo with it turned on in the home screen. That one's generally going to get more clicks, which could help with sales, right? So it was getting good at all these little skill sets. So what happened was I realized I started stacking different principles. I started stacking skills. I had to get good at the skill of advertising. And then there's actually a skill called appraising, which was a second skill in and of itself. And then the skill of negotiating. And then the skill of listing items on eBay. There's all these different skills and the skill of upselling. But when I got good at all these skills and I stacked them together, that's when I really made a lot of money. The same thing applies with drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace. If you're drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace, you might not like this answer, but I'm here just to tell people the truth. I don't sugarcoat anything, which is why, I don't have the biggest following, but the people that follow me tend to make a lot more money because they get the complete answer. You have to get good at a lot of skills. The first skill, what's one of the first skills? The first skill is being able to know what are the best items to list and getting that down, because there's certain items that sell really good on Marketplace and there's certain items that don't. And just because an item drop ships and sells really good on Amazon, for example, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell good on Facebook Marketplace. In fact, there's a lot of items that do sell good on Amazon that if you list them on Facebook Marketplace, you're probably not going to get any sales. So it's understanding the type of I've made videos that explain all this. Even in my free Facebook group, I've done free lives where I've shared this as well. But there's a certain type of person that shops on Facebook Marketplace. And there are certain types of items that people buy on Facebook Marketplace. So kind of the first skill is understanding and getting good at what items sell good on Facebook Marketplace. The second skill is how to list those items, because there's lots of people that actually list pretty good items on Facebook Marketplace. They list like popular items that would sell good on Facebook Marketplace, but they don't use the right tags, they don't use the right titles, descriptions, images. They don't fill in the categories correctly. So they don't essentially list the item correctly. So because of that, they don't get a lot of sales. They might get a sale every now and then. They don't get a lot of views on their items. And, because they haven't watched my other video on the number one secret to being a successful entrepreneur and problem solving, they blame the business, not understanding this is the biggest market that there is. Over 1 billion people a month view Facebook Marketplace. There's over 1 billion people a month that I'm not sure if they all buy, but they view Facebook Marketplace. That's that's just tremendous. That's more than the people that shop on Amazon, eBay combined times 2, I believe, right? So it's a second skill set is being able to get good at listing items and list them in the correct way so you get a lot of sales and make a lot of money. The second skill is learning customer service, because customers are going to message you. The item's going to be, I have dealing with it in one of my automation stores. For a select few people, and occasionally I do take on new clients where I will run and build your store for you, and I'll basically run your store. So it's Facebook Marketplace drop shipping automation. All the clients I have are getting sales right now. And none of the clients I have, none of their stores are suspended, because this is not eBay, Amazon, or Walmart drop shipping. There's nothing that says you can't drop ship on Facebook Marketplace, which is nice. But anyway, in one of my automation stores that I'm running, one of the VAs messaged me from that store yesterday, or it was a few days ago. The customer was missing a screw, right? And the VA was like, how do I handle this? The customer is missing a screw. So you have to learn like customer service. You have to learn how to communicate with customers in a way where you kind of control their emotions and solve their problems. And basically what I did in that situation was I offered a $10 partial refund for that customer, just so it was a little bit more than what the screws cost and keep them happy, blah, blah, blah. But another part of this business is learning the customer service, going through that, getting good at that, and learning how to communicate with customers in a way where it's like, I call it customer service lingo. It's different than just having a conversation between like you and me, or maybe, you and your mom, or you and your friend. There's a certain way to kind of communicate. What's another skill? Well, if you want to automate your business, you're going to have to learn how to hire, manage, coach, fire, oversee, and train employees. Well, that's an entire skill set on itself, right? Like you guys know, I teach people and I hire my virtual assistants are $1.25 an hour. Where do you even find virtual assistants for $1.25 an hour? How do you hire them? How do you train them? How do you coach them? When should you give them bonuses and raises? Because those are things that you should do when you have a good good virtual assistants, right? Good employees. That's an entire thing in itself. So basically, to sum all this up, Aaron, what are you trying to say? To get good at any business, it's understanding it's not really one skill you have to get good at. There's generally a lot of skills you have to get good at, and the key is getting good at these skills and stacking them all together. It's called the stacking principle. And when you do that, that's when you really make a lot of money. Now, just as a side note, to make good money, you don't have to become an expert. You don't have to be the top in the world at any of these skills. In fact, if you have the right training, generally each of these skills you can get good at in a few hours. You can get, maybe the word's proficient or good enough at this skill. And then you could spend a few hours going through training and getting good at this skill. So understanding that these skills, it's not like it's going to take you 5 years to get good at. Generally, you can generally get good at them usually within a few hours, but you have to get good at a bunch of these skills, stack them on top of each other, and that's when you'll really see that your business will explode. And this applies to pretty much any business. Generally not one or two skills, generally it's a handful of skills. You don't have to be the best in the world at, you don't even have to be an expert on. You just have to get good at them and then stack them on top of each other and combine them. But understanding the stacking principle will help you out in business because it kind of helps you focus on, okay, I got good at this skill. Is there another skill that I'm slacking on? Because some people, they get good at one or two skills and they don't think, oh, you know what? I don't have to learn these other skills. I just got good at these skills. No, you have to get good at all the skills that are needed in order for your business to grow or thrive. Now, I guess you could hire someone that knows how to do that, knows how to do a couple skills as well, but that's generally for bigger businesses. If you got a business that's got 100 employees and you need to open up a legal department, I guess at that point you could just hire a full-time lawyer and pay him $150,000 a year to work in your business, and you wouldn't have to learn that yourself. But generally for small business owners and these kind of, these businesses that we're in, generally it's us that gets good at these different skills. So that's the stacking principle, guys.